what the weatherman says. When the weatherman says it's raining, you'll never hear me complaining. I'm certain the sun will shine. I don't care how the weather vane points. When the weather vane points to gloomy, it's gotta be sunny to me when your eyes look into mine. Jeepers creepers, where'd you get those creepers? Jeepers creepers, where'd you get those eyes? 'Cause y'all get up, how'd they get so lit up? 'Cause y'all get up, how'd they get that size?
Hello and good afternoon. How are you today?
I am very well, thank you. Thank you.
You still have that beautiful, fresh accent, but it's real, right? It wasn't something you put on.
It's not put on.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Surrey, in the UK, Guildford, and that's where I was living at the time when I was at theatre school and was cast in the part of Veruca Salt.
Now, recently got a chance to be in London, and I got to go to His Majesty's Theatre, and I got to see Phantom. What an incredible theater that is.
Yeah,
so did you always grow up like in theater or around theater people, or how did this experience happen for you?
No. My mum was a single mum bringing up 2 kids, worked 3 jobs, but I had a very good drama teacher at my primary school when I was 9, 10, and she put on productions, and I played Yum Yum in the Mikado. These were just school productions, that we made our own costumes. We did Peter Pan, and she suggested to my mum that I audition for stage school, and I did.
Wow. And the rest is history.
And that's it. That's how it happened, yeah.
Do you have a piece of memorabilia from this set that means so much to you or something?
Yeah, this.
Oh, you are so cute.
No, I
look
do.
At your beautiful, look at this beautiful fresh face.
No,
come on.
No. I've still got my script.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay.
And I have my copy of the book that I read from for the audition, but I had it signed back in the day by all the guys, including Gene.
All your friends. They said you guys kind of all grew up together, which is great.
Roy, they all signed it for me back then, so I've still got that.
That's so nice. I was asking Peter the same question. Did you realize that this was going to be a phenomenon? Or what age were you when all of a sudden you said, oh my goodness, people are like fangirling over me for some reason?
When I was much more grown up, because it wasn't a box office success. So it came and it went and it disappeared. And there was a period in my life where I don't think I even mentioned it.
Peter's a veterinarian now. Yeah. So similar? Did you like...
Exactly. So there are friends that I were like, oh yeah, I was in that. It just never cropped up in conversation. And then I did TV for the BBC when I was 17. Well, I did other stuff, but my career then was very kind of 2 halves. There was the kids side, and then at 18 it was the grown-up career, and so this was never mentioned until probably the 80s when it started to have this kind of cult
nostalgicness.
Yeah, nostalgia, yeah.
Because I feel like for me, I was telling Peter also that my grandparents sold candy for a living. So as a young girl, I used to get to open up the Ford truck, and I used to climb upstairs, and my grandfather would say, don't open any of the boxes that aren't open yet, but I could have the open merchandise, right? But of course, I was a kid, right? So I got the marathon bars and all these other things. I think you guys call them Tim Tams or something. It's a similar thing. It's got caramel and...
We have marathon, I know. Yeah, I know marathon, yeah.
So when you get to watch it with people you love, what is their reaction?
I haven't watched it in a long time, although, a lot of my friends, they just get engrossed in the film. I remember watching it with a friend of mine, and she was getting so upset with everybody with Charlie when he finds the ticket. And she's going, oh, run, Charlie, run. I've got 2 granddaughters now. They are 3, nearly 4, and 2. They haven't seen it yet, but we did watch little bits because I just thought I'd try it out and see, whether they could cope with it. I don't think they'd like the tumble. No. But the eldest one, I showed her the scene where Veruca is getting the ticket, and Roy Kinnear is, shouting out the £1, you'll get a £1 bonus in your pay packet. So my granddaughter looked at that and she said, I think her daddy's a bit upset with her. So.
She wasn't acting very proper. You're delightful. I wish you the happiness. Happy journeys to you always. And I've always appreciated your work.
Thank you.
So we're kind of like contemporaries. We're like, we're grown-up girls now, but we never really grow up, do we?
No,
Thank you
never.
so much. Happy journeys to you. Tell us about your journey as a veterinarian. What made you decide to help, animals? You do large animals too, right?
Correct. Mainly large animals.
Okay,
So
horses.
Horses, dairy cattle, goats, sheep. So farm animals. Used to do dogs and cats, but I like being outside, so I would travel from farm to farm, okay? And I working with farms, working with farmers really resonated with me, even though I grew up in suburbia, completely. I didn't grow up on a farm.
I grew up
So
in suburbia, St. Louis. Where did you grow up? Where are you from originally?
mainly, we lived all over the country, but I grew up mainly in Cleveland, Ohio, which is how I became affiliated with Wonka. I worked at the Cleveland Playhouse at their children's theater, and when they were casting the film, they called the Cleveland Playhouse, asked if they had anybody that they might recommend to audition. My name was given to them. I was in the right place at the right time.
Now, were any of the other cast members, like, did you know them as a child as well, or they each came from different places?
Right. Julie was from England. Michael was from Munich, Germany. Paris was from New York City. Denise Nickerson was from New York City. So we didn't know each other. And now they're like siblings.
I know you guys grew up together, and we all grew up with you. I hate to say that, but it's absolutely true. On the phone call that I had with you one day, I was explaining to you my grandparents sold candy for a living. So I used to get to open up the back door of their big Ford and get to eat candy, right?
Yeah.
So as a child, did you have a favorite candy that you liked, or?
I always liked chocolate. Still do.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. Are you
Absolutely.
surprised at the phenomenon that this movie grew into? It's kind of,
we Who would have known? Who would have known 52 years ago when we were making this film that it would develop into a classic? We just had no idea. So it's a lot of fun.
Are you also musically talented?
I started acting and singing and dancing when I was 6. I was on Broadway singing and dancing in Mame with Ann Miller in 1967, and did not get a musical number in this film for some reason. This film being Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Well, if you could sing something, what would it have been? Which song resonated with you?
Right, they would have had to write it for me, and they
had
did.
your own one.
Yes, yeah. But Julie, who played Veruca, did a great job with hers.
See, you guys, it's so fun for us as grown-up children, to be here with you today. This is such a special moment. Do you get a chance to do some of these conventions across the United States? And what do you enjoy most about it, especially this one, especially Chiller?
Chiller, Julie may have told you this, but in 1998, Chiller was one of the very first shows we did all together as a group of dysfunctional brothers and sisters. So we consider it like our home show in many ways. So I've been at Chiller several times, and I do get to do them. And obviously the most fun part is hearing the stories from the people that the movie means something to.
It does. It really, it's part of, I think, our fiber, the fiber of our being. Because back then they only had a few different television channels. It was before all this. And so we would wait to watch it.
Once a year.
Exactly. And lay down on our stomachs with our legs like this. And as I shared with you before we started rolling, I still own the Zenith. My parents bought a 1964 Zenith.
Probably the Zenith that you watch the movie on
did.
once a year.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now that I'm a grown-up girl and I get to see the parts that are in color that were supposed to be in color, I'm like, oh, it's a whole new world. You come from a unique perspective. Like you were inside of our televisions, literally inside of that television.
I was the first person in the world to be sent by television, after all. Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, it is cool. Yeah. I
you
went
have-
right into your Zenith, I'm sure. Yeah.
I just keep seeing you sparkly going right across the way. Do you have a piece of memorabilia that you kept?
Nope.
You don't?
Nope.
So would you like to autograph one of your own pictures and hang it up for yourself?
I am a walking, talking memorabilia piece from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. If I want
memorabilia.
to see an original from Willy Wonka, I look in the mirror.
And I see you. That's the role I would have wanted. I'm just saying, I would have wanted to travel like that and be transported and
You didn't want to be Veruca and have the song?
No, only that. Well, Veruca's wonderful, but the only thing is I'd have to be so mean.
Yeah.
You were just sassy.
Yeah, people have different opinions about that. People often walk up to my table and say, you were a brat.
No, I don't see a brat. I just see sassy.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, but I mean, I'm biased.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you deserved it because you're you. I've been visiting with Paris. He's so cool. This is such a nice moment for me, and I hope that we made a nice moment for you at home. Be well.
When you turn those heaters on, woe is me. Got to put my cheaters on. Creepers, creepers, Where'd you get those peepers? Oh, those weepers. How they hypnotize. Knock me out. Where'd you get those eyes? Where'd you get them? Won't you put me wise? Don't you jive me. Pays to advertise. Tell them about me. Where'd